Brynjólfur sat in his garden. The sun warmed his wrinkled face. He was 80 now. His neck was fat, a silver chain hung there. On it a mini black dog dangled. He touched it often. It reminded him of dreams long past. The garden was his pride. Flowers bloomed everywhere. Trees rustled in the breeze. He had spent a fortune on it. Every plant, every stone, carefully chosen. It was his own little paradise in Kopavogr.
But the garden's beauty was only half the story. Beneath the soil, a complex system lurked. Drains and pipes, all meticulously planned. Brynjólfur had designed it himself. It was his life's work in miniature. He sipped his vodka, neat and dry. The ice clinked in the glass. His eyes roamed over his creation. The new drain had been a challenge, but it was worth it. The garden was perfect now, just as he had always dreamed it would be.
Brynjólfur's mind wandered. He thought of his youth, of downtown Reykjavik, so vibrant and alive. He had lived in a penthouse then. High above the city streets, the view had been breathtaking. He remembered his car, a green Alfa Romeo. It purred like a cat. He had loved that car. It was fast, sleek. It turned heads wherever he went. Young Brynjólfur had been quite the sight behind its wheel.
Women had flocked to him then. Beautiful women with dark eyes and olive skin. They reminded him of Turkish beauties. He had never been to Turkey, but in his mind, that's what they were. Turkish princesses. All of them.
He had dreamed of a black dog then, a big one, not like the tiny pendant he wore now, and a Land Cruiser, rugged and powerful, so different from his sporty Alfa. But dreams change. Life changes, and Brynjólfur had changed with it. The penthouse had been his castle. High ceilings, large windows. The city spread out below like a glittering carpet. Brynjólfur had felt like a king there, master of all he surveyed. Parties were frequent in those days, the rooms filled with laughter and music. Beautiful people everywhere. The air thick with cigarette smoke and perfume. Brynjólfur at the center of it all, young, handsome, full of life.
He had been different then. Slim, dapper. His hair was dark and thick, no gray in sight. His belly was flat, hard as a rock. He worked out every day, kept himself in top shape. For the ladies, he told himself. But really, it was for him. The penthouse had a balcony. Brynjólfur spent many nights there, gazing at the stars, dreaming big dreams, of black dogs and Land Cruisers, of adventures yet to come. The world was his oyster then, full of promise and possibility.
Life has a way of surprising you. I never imagined I'd end up designing sewage systems, but that's where my path led. And well, I found I had a talent for it.
It wasn't glamorous work, not like he'd dreamed of in his youth, but it was important, necessary.
I took pride in it, in solving problems, in making things work smoothly, unseen.
He became known for his skill. His designs were efficient, innovative. Cities across Iceland sought his expertise. Brynjólfur traveled often. He saw more of his country than he ever had before. The work was challenging. It required precision, creativity.
I threw myself into it. I found satisfaction in the complexity, in the puzzles I had to solve. It wasn't the life I'd imagined, but it was a good life, a life of purpose.
Brynjólfur did get his Land Cruiser eventually, and his black dog. Not in his youth, but later, when he could truly appreciate them. The memory brought a smile to his lips.
I saw myself younger but not young, climbing into the driver's seat, the leather cool against my back, the engine rumbling to life, power at my fingertips.
The black dog, tail wagging, jumping into the trunk. A beautiful woman, dark-eyed and smiling, sliding into the passenger seat. They were off on an adventure, hunting small birds in the countryside. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of companionship, the beauty of Iceland's wild places. These were the dreams of his youth made real, not as he'd imagined them, but perhaps better for the waiting.
I opened my eyes. The garden came back into focus. My dreams faded, replaced by reality. But it was a good reality, a life well lived. My hair is gray now, my belly round and soft. But I am happy, content. The garden is my joy, the sauna and cold tub, my luxury. Simple pleasures, but deep ones.
He lit a cigarette, drew the smoke deep into his lungs. It wasn't healthy, he knew. But at 80, what did it matter? He sipped his vodka, dry and crisp, just as he liked it.
The new drain will be a challenge, 3 meters deep. But I look forward to it. One last project, one last puzzle to solve. In this garden I have created, this little piece of paradise, where dreams and reality meet.